All right. Do you love it or leave it? Protagonists meet in the first 10% of the story.
Love it. Some of mine meet on like page one. I mean, I'll wait patiently if it's not the first 10%, but in general, love it.
Love it or leave it? Dual point of view narration.
Love it. I want to know what's going on in both of their heads for sure.
Love it or leave it? Third person past tense.
Love it, but I don't. Are we comparing it to another one? Because I think depending on the story and the genre, I'm okay with any type of style, really. I think we're just so accustomed to third person past in the historical romance that my first instinct is to say, of course, that's the way it's done, but it doesn't have to be, right? As long as it's well written and I can get into that character's head, I don't really mind what style it's written in.
All right. Love it or leave it? Third act, breakup, or dark moment.
Ooh, that's a hard one. I do love them. I mean, obviously, I want there to be a reason for it, and there needs to be a grovel or a way back. But I've read some that don't really have a strong breakup. It can be a soft breakup, if you will, or someone thinks they're going to break up. And again, depending on the how light or how angsty the story is, I think both can work really well. So, can I say both? I like both. I love both.
Sure. All right. Love it or leave it? Always end with an epilogue.
Love it. Yeah. I think yeah, I want one more glimpse of the characters, whether it's 1 week later, 1 year later, 10 years later. A second epilogue, I could leave it. Um, in fact, I've only written one of those, and I think that shows how I'm like, yeah, it's okay. Also, because I think when I finish writing a story, I'm ready to move to the next character. It's harder for me to keep with those characters much longer. But I appreciate other authors who do. I wish I could, but no, I'll leave it.
Okay. Love it or leave it? Always share research in your author's note.
Yes, love it. I love reading them. I love writing them. In fact, I have to remind myself that it's not a list of works cited and that not everyone cares about that 1,000 articles I read as much as I do. So I try to keep it to, the three most interesting factoids or something like that, or that I think are the most important for a reader to understand, especially if it's something that readers might think is too modern or maybe didn't happen. If I know that I based it on something real, I want that to be evident. For example, the photographer then who does some nude photos, a reader might think, Psh, they weren't doing nude photos. Like, well, I can direct you to the website. That sounds sketchier than it is. It's a very tasteful on the University of Washington website.
No, I mean, yeah, I'm pretty sure as soon as we have any medium, someone's making nude versions.
Yeah, exactly. But yeah, so I love the author's note. Love it.
Yeah. All right. And are there any romance rules I didn't ask about that you like to break?
I was trying to think of an example and I couldn't really think of any. So maybe not. Do you have any that you could refer to?
Oh gosh. So in The Sailor Without a Sweetheart, I decided not to have any penetrative sex.
Hmm,
There's sex, but they never have penetrative sex because of her chronic illness. And
right,
so that kind of is sort of breaking a rule. I
right.
wasn't sure how would readers respond to that.
Yeah,
So that's the type of thing that I kind of like to be like, well, what happens if we take that away?
right. Okay, that happens in one of my novellas as well. So yes. But I think I could actually think bigger picture for a second. It's not technically breaking rules, but some readers might see it that way. I mean, just the mere fact that I'm writing stories after 1900 is already like, oh, no, no, that's not historical romance anymore. And it's like, it is, it's over 100 years ago. And also that I'm writing in the United States, that it's not New York in the United States. Like, I think those, the setting and time are technically breaking some rules,
Yeah.
better or worse.
Yeah, there's certainly stepping readers outside of what they're accustomed to.
Yes, exactly.